Torah tells us so many of the details of tzaras, of the different discolorations that can exist on a person's skin, a person's house, a person's clothing, and what those halachos are going to be in terms of the person becoming tamei. And Torah tells us that the Kohen is the one who is tasked with being the one to determine whether or not the person is in fact tamei or not. And in describing what the Kohen is going to do and how the process unfolds, the Torah tells us, "V'ra Kohen es nega b'or habasar." If the Kohen sees the nega, sees the affliction, sees the spot on the person's skin, v'sei'ar b'nega afach laban, there's a hair in the middle that turns white, umarei hanega amok me'or basaro, and there's a certain depth to it, nega tzarasu, then that is considered to be nega tzaras, v'ra'o haKohen v'timeo. So the Kohen should see it, and the Kohen should be metamei it. It's a fairly straightforward process, a bit intricate, but fairly straightforward. But there's a redundancy in the pasuk which seems difficult. The pasuk tells us at the beginning, "V'ra'ah haKohen," that the Kohen should see it. So why at the very end, after it describes the change that took place in the nega, the Torah tells "V'ra'ah haKohen," and the Kohen should see it b'timeo so and determine that it is tamei. The Torah has no extra words. Why would the Torah repeat that the Kohen is taking a look at it? So the Meshech Chochmah Meir Simcha Midvinsk has a beautiful, beautiful shot in trying to understand this. Says Reb Meir Simcha, says the Meshech Chochmah, V'yitachin al derech Chazal, and I can suggest that maybe according to the approach that Chazal take, she'hakavana, that what the Torah is trying to tell us is as follows: she'yireas hanega im hi re'ui l'tamena. The first task that a Kohen has is to figure out, does this fit into the technicalities of what is considered to be tzaras? Is this going to be, if you have to check off the boxes as to what characteristics are necessary for something to be considered to be nega tzaras, does this check off all of those boxes? Does it have that white hair, which is a necessary sign that this is tamei? V'ra'o haKohen. But the second v'ra'o haKohen is a very different way of looking at things. He doesn't look at the nega, but he looks at the person. The Kohen looks at the person. The Kohen determines by looking at the person, is this somebody who it is appropriate to be metamei or not? Who im chasan, if the person just got married, no single kosher, let's wait till after Sheva Brachos, because again, there's something different about this. This isn't a physical malady. This is something where, until the Kohen says it, it is not going to become tamei, even if the physical signs are there, because it is a spiritual malady with physical ways of manifestations of how it appears. Or berega, no signal calling misrega, let's wait till after Yontif. Shalol da'arbiv simchasa, not to mess up the Yontif. Udrachaha darchei noam. The ways of the Torah are pleasant. V'lachin v'ra'ahu. And that is the second time that it says v'ra'ahu. Echu be'echusim heroil fi'azman tamoso. Is it appropriate at this time to be metami the person or not? It's a beautiful, beautiful shot. The reason that it says it twice is because the Kohen has to look in two different ways. We have to look at the surface, but then we have to look beneath the surface. And I think that that is an idea which is much more broadly applied, or should be more broadly applied in our lives than sleeping the Kohen with the nega tzaras. The lesson is that sometimes certain things appear the way on the surface and we look at it and we have a perspective. But sometimes we have to make sure that we look deeper as well. Maybe there's a reason that somebody did something. There's a reason that somebody wasn't feeling well. Something wasn't quite right. There's a reason that somebody did whatever it is that they are doing. That's v'ra'ahu haKohen. You have to look at the depth of the person. And what situation is this person finding himself? Maybe that's why the person acted the way that they did. So the Torah, in telling us v'ra'ahu haKohen and repeating it, is teaching us a halacha when it comes to nega tzaras, but a much larger lesson in life. Is that the perspective that we need to have is that we look at things on the surface, but we also look beneath the surface. We look objectively at the way things are, and then we have to look subjectively. How do we apply it? Because that's the way that we're going to have achdus. That's the way that we come together. When we're willing to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. When we're willing to think, why did the person say that? Why did the person do that? Why didn't the person do something? If we have it for that perspective, for haKohen, so then we have the opportunity to be able to see with true depth, because the Torah wants us to be pleasant. The Torah is pleasant, wants us to be pleasant people. And with that, we're able to hopefully be able to create the bonds of not being the person who's badad yeshev, the person who's outside the camp sitting by themselves, but that we should be able to be together with tremendous achdus.